Good morning. Welcome to the wellness program. So today I just wanted to ask the experts. We have a yoga expert, Madhusudan, who is an expert in yoga, and Dr. Janki, who is expert in nutrition management. Welcome to our show. Uh,
Thank you.
Dr. Shravan is a chief physiotherapist at NIMS Hospital. So I just wanted to ask a question. Now, because of lockdown, a lot of people are at home. Some people are working from home, and they are all going through a lot of challenges. So some people make it as an advantage, and they started doing yoga, they started doing exercises, they started changing their nutrition habits and lifestyle habits. Some of the people, they become very lazy, and they started not doing all these things, and they become more lazy. They started eating all junk foods. So this is the challenge people are going through. And lot of people who never done any form of work from home, like kids, they never done work from home or study from home. They used to go to school, they used to play, they used to have a lot of enjoyment. At the same time, a lot of other professions like auditors, bankers, and a lot of other people, they never done work from home. So now people, when they are working from home, they don't have a proper structure, like they don't have a proper table, chairs, and all. So their postures are going bad. They are getting back pain, they are getting some issues. So, as a dietitian, I wanted to know more about the uh, immunity diets. So, all that, if you can share your experiences, 10 minutes, I'll give it to all of you. And Madhu Garu, can you just tell us? Uh, everybody is talking about immune system. So, apart from immunity building, like through diet, what are the other ways of improving the immunity through yoga? So this is what I wanted to know. Now, first we'll start with Madhu. Can you just
Yeah,
say
sure.
how to improve the immunity?
Yeah. Okay. So when the name comes immunity, in our body, sir, there are so many organ systems are there. So every organ and every system has to work properly. Then only our immunity will be good. So immunity means is not only through food and diet. So it is all about the see, many people are facing problem with the oxidation stress. That means through food and the air what we are taking and the water what we are having. So this through these three things, the oxidation stress is improving more. So if we manage like proper food and proper air and water, then automatically the our immunity will be boost up, and the rest of the things will take care by our body. So I think anyhow your dietitian is there. She will talk about the food. So when it comes to the air, so you can that is called the breathing techniques. In our yoga, we do pranayama. So pranayama gives us lot of energy. It increases prana shakti because without food we can live at least a few days, but without breathing we can't live. So breathing is a major part.
Yes.
So the what way we have to take breathing, that has to be learned by some professionals. If you don't have any idea, but even at home, they have to sit simple and they have to take a long breath. They have to fill air complete in the lungs and chest, and they have to hold for some time and slowly they have to release. At least this simple technique, if they follow, so it will the vitality of the body will be improved a lot. Not in 1 to 2 days. At least they need to practice for a few days to experience the effect of that pranayama. So there are different methods in pranayama. So if they want to learn, say they have to consult any expert. But because here we can't teach everything, but pranayama helps a lot, and lot. It gives peacefulness. It removes stress. Okay, it balances your anxieties and everything. And also while breathing, the posture is very important. Breathing means not by with sleeping or sitting very casually on the sofa. No, it's not like that. We have to keep our spine erect, that is the spine straight, and we have to expand our lungs So we need to concentrate more of lungs, not in the stomach. When we breathe, the air should go into the lungs, not in the stomach. So that we have to concentrate. And if you practice for at least 10 to 15 minutes in a day, it will give a lot of immunity. If you have any other questions, I can talk about that. Even water also, sir. Apart from that, water is very important. So till now, many people are drinking that RO water, that bottle cans and everything. So they need to avoid that, or they have to add some
Mineral.
mineral drops in water, or otherwise the general water like Manjira water that comes through that they can have. But if we avoid RO water, that will be very nice because that is the acidic water. So one thing we have to leave water, and they have to take more of breath, and this we can. I
Sunlight.
can.
Can you just tell us about sunlight? How important is the sunlight?
Yeah, definitely. Sunlight is very, very important. See, our body is made up of like 5 elements. In that, the major one is sun. So we can't live without sun. So will you imagine that if 1 month the sun is not there, so can we imagine how we can work? So even in the rainy season or any like winter season, if we are not seeing sun for 1 week, automatically our body sun is very good. We have to expose our body to the sun at least for 10 to 15 minutes in a day. In the summer, before 9, it is very good. So because if we expose our body to the sun, so our body receives the sun rays and it develops vitamin D in our body to absorb the calcium very much. So calcium is also very, very much important to keep our bones strong and healthy.
Okay. How important is the yoga asanas? If somebody can
Even
do.
if you sit in the sun, so even any virus or any flus are there, it will also cure by if you sit in sun.
Okay.
So that's very important. Yeah. Any question next?
When you do yoga asanas, what is the benefits we are going to get?
It's a lot of benefits. Yoga is it brings a unity between body, mind, and also soul. So yoga is not just meaning that we're doing the asanas. Asanas are the part of yoga. Yoga comes everything like what you do. See, yoga brings awareness in our body. Whatever the things you do in a day, from morning to evening, so we have to do with aware. So people are not aware. Whatever the work they do, they think something about other things or something past or something future. So when you practice yoga, that means you with awareness you are doing something. So when you do with any work with awareness, so it will give balance to our body and mind. Why I'm telling this awareness? Because the healthy mind gives a healthy body.
Okay.
So mostly people think healthy body gives healthy mind, but my experience is healthy mind gives healthy body. Okay, so I'm preferring more of bringing awareness through pranayama. If you do pranayama, then these things will happen. So yoga is not only just asanas; it's a part of yoga, but there are a lot of things like yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So these are the 8 steps. But I think everybody will follow these 8 steps. At least if they follow 4 of these 8 limbs, so it will be very good for every family and for children or any age of people.
Okay. Thank you, Madhugaru. I'll come back to you. I'll ask Dr. Shravan.
And one more thing, yoga. Yeah. Just 1 minute. Yeah. One more thing, yoga means many people will think only old age people has to do, or if anybody is suffering with any disease, only that people has to do. Yoga is for everybody, even the children, elders, youth, everybody has to do yoga. So because they think that it is only for, many people think that it is only for certain people only, not for everybody. So this is for everybody.
Thank you so much. So Dr. Shravan, can you
Yes, Dr.
Can you just give some guidelines or tips?
Yes, Dr. S. Naringaru. Like the most important thing is, COVID usually happens or attacks people who have got less immunity.
Okay.
So that is one thing. So now we all should understand what exactly is this immunity. So immunity is nothing but your body's capability to resist or to fight against any of the virus or any of the bacteria or any of the external organisms.
Right.
So this is immunity. Now, if you look at the immunity, so this immunity is classified into different ways. So one is called as an adaptive immunity and the next one is called as an innate immunity.
Okay.
So now innate immunity in the sense, so this immunity comes from your birth. It comes from a good genes. It comes from your genetics.
Right.
So this is something, you know, where your baseline is established there. So, like even further that beyond that, if you want to improve any immunity in an individual, so this can be developed.
Yeah.
This can be developed, slow by slow in a stepwise manner.
Hmm.
So this process of developing an immunity is called as an adaptive immunity. So this adaptive immunity is again further classified as natural immunity and as well as artificial immunity. Now let us see what exactly I mean by artificial immunity. So artificial immunity in the sense, the body doesn't have the capacity to fight against an organism, such as, so for that, like we give, immunizations, right? So for cholera, diphtheria, and all the things. So even for COVID, we are all, the scientists are in the process of developing an vaccine.
Yes.
So this process of, developing an artificial immunity is called as an, we call it as an immunization, right? So, as a physiotherapist, my key role is to improve an immunity in an individual. So where I come into picture is, I come into picture where I could develop an immunity in an individual through a process which is called as an adaptive immunity. So this adaptive immunity can be developed, can be enhanced in an individual through exercise.
Right.
Through exercise.
Yeah.
So, you have to keep all the cells in your body active throughout the day. So the more they're active, the more your immune system.
Okay.
So if you're lazy and if you're lethargic and your cells in your body are also lazy and lethargic, they won't fight against any of the microorganisms which is entering into your body. So that means you are surrendering your body to a virus, which could, freely enter into your body. So as I have been telling, there are many benefits of exercises, let us speak in common layman's terms, exercise gives you happiness. That is the first and foremost thing.
Yes.
So if you don't exercise or if you don't do any physical activity, if you don't go out of your house, you are depressed throughout the day.
Yeah.
So the first benefit of exercise is, to keep yourself happy and to keep your body happy. So, and the next benefit of your exercise is that to keep all your joints mobile. If you don't exercise, if you don't move your body parts, all this, all your joints, they become very stiff. So as a result, you will be developing joint pains and all the other degenerative changes. If you don't use your muscle, they become very lean. Your muscle becomes very lean. So, you should see to it that all your muscles are active throughout the day. That is one thing. So if you don't exercise, all your hormones which are there in your body, they're not active throughout the day. They're not released at a proper level, right? So you have hormones which excites you. You also have hormones, which depresses you. So there should be a balance between the hormones, which is more important thing. So, like the common general questions, which, many of the individuals have these days is that, I am having I am in a red zone or I am in a containment zone, whether I can do exercise, whether I can take, air which is there in the external environment.
Yeah.
So whenever you are at house, you are free to do any exercise, but, provided the COVID virus, spread through air or through droplet infection. People say it can spread through air or droplet infection because you are already in a red zone or a containment zone. So you should be cautious, whenever you do exercise in an open environment such as terrace or on the roads. You should wear a mask and you can always do exercise. And one more question, which we usually, which many of my patients call and ask me is that, I have been attacked with COVID virus. I have been tested positive. Can I exercise? Till date, there is no recent evidence, which says that you should not exercise. As long as you are healthy and active, even if you are in an isolation ward, you have to keep doing a small bit of aerobic exercises, which are very essential. and you can also do breathing exercises. So you can do all these things unless and until your lungs are not involved, right? So these are few things. In most of the COVID patients, they suffer from a condition which is called as dyspnea, where they, try to grasp the air, where their oxygen is deprived. So where they try to grasp the air. So, even if you are in an isolation ward, if you're healthy and if you're an active, you can do the exercises. So coming to the children, like whether the children can exercise during this period or not. So a child between 3 to 6 years has to be active at least for three hours in a day. So we should always encourage the parents to keep the child active. So if a child is between 6 to 10 years, there are few exercises I think which can be taught to many of the parents. So I have been seeing videos on the WhatsApp where you can do exercises on your terrace. Where parents have to take an important role in encouraging the children to do those exercises. Parents play an important role. It is the responsibility of the parents to keep their kid active throughout the day. So people in the middle age have to exercise at least for 30 to 45 minutes in a day. It can be any form. It can be aerobic exercises, or it can be strength training exercises, or any form. So people above 60 years are also encouraged to do active part. So they can do walking and they can do all the range of motion exercises in order to preserve or to maintain the joints. So these are the basic things which people should understand the importance of exercises during this COVID period.
And people who's working from home, do you give any advice to them while sitting, while getting up?
People work. Yeah. So because when people are at home, they become very lazy when they're at home. So they should use all the ergonomic exercises. They should sit properly when they're working at home. And most important thing is that for every half an hour or 45 minutes, they should get up and they should bend their spine, and they should do some rotation exercises. They should go out and they should take a fresh air and again come back and again they should start working. So it is always essential to work in an ergonomic position, which is ideal for your body. So people most of the time, they lie on their stomach and they start, operating the computers, which is the most dangerous position, where your spine is extended, your cervical spine is extended, and people end up with neck pains and as well as the back pains.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shravan. Now over to Dr. Janki to give us tips on diet and how to improve immunity through diet.
Thank you, Nadim, for this opportunity, and thank you, Madhusudan Rao Garu and Dr. Shravan for such a nice information regarding how to take care during the lockdown. So the topic is what happens in lockdown. So it's a continuing with Dr. Shravan's talk. It is basically sarcopenia happens if we don't exercise. In the sense, in the lockdown, we are not doing up a regular work. Regular work in the sense, a regular lifestyle will change. We may not be going out for the work, or we may not be going out for any other thing. So we'll be 100% we are at home, and the type of work that we do at home is totally different from what we have done before the lockdown. Yeah. So sarcopenia by all means can happen. That is lean fat. Being lean fat, and there'll be some wasting of muscle mass. So by simply sitting and not doing any physical activity, or doing less physical activity, might lead to this. So first and foremost is we have to, because now we are almost 1 month into lockdown. So already some changes, some body composition changes might have happened. If we just check their body composition, then we will know. So our food needs to be high in protein. When I say high in protein, it can go up to anywhere 1 gram per kg ideal body weight to 2 grams, up to 2 grams, based on the condition of the client or patient. Suppose if the patient has tested positive or is hospitalized, the intake of protein will be much more than what is required. So next is talking about the immunity. So Dr. Shravan has already told about innate immunity and adaptive immunity. So already we are with some immunity, and really we are blessed to have a very good immunity, all Indians, because our dietary habits are the best when compared to all other countries. We have uh, we have variety of foods in our culture, and we have all these spices which actually help in strengthening our mucosal lining of a gut, and mucosal lining. Wherever there is mucosal lining, it will strengthen spices, especially spices. And then we have eating of different kinds of, for example, we have a habit of having, especially in South India, we have habit of having idli dosa, which are fermented products. We have a habit of having the curd, which is a probiotic. So all these are really they are into our culture already. So what we have to do is we just have to check that whether we are having balanced diet or not. That's all that is needed. So for a balanced diet, all we need is 5 food groups. These 5 food groups are cereals and protein group, fruits, vegetables, and milk products. These are the 5 food groups that have to be there in a balanced diet. And the composition of these 5 food groups depends upon the client. Like a growing child will need more of energy and protein, and a person suffering with the diabetes will include more vegetables, but the percentage of vegetables will increase. That way, we'll just keep changing the composition of these 5 food groups. That is the balanced diet for an individual. Now, balanced diet itself will make you healthy. Balanced diet itself will give you good immunity. Now, particular nutrients that are required for immunity are, first everybody knows, and some of the companies, they're actually giving a citrus basket for people, so that they can improve their immunity. So vitamin C is very important, one of the many things that are required for developing immunity. And the first and foremost nutrient that we talk about is vitamin C. Vitamin C can go in any form. Simplest is any fruit has vitamin C, first, number one. And lemon has vitamin C. Apart from that, it has potassium also. Now the sun is there, so we are also sweating now. Morning till afternoon we are sweating, till by evening it is getting cold. So we are really in a different kind of weather right now. So we will be needing potassium, sodium, salts as well. So vitamin C with the fruits and lemon, which is normally available at everybody's home. Other than this, green chilies are very good in vitamin C. So we can freely use green chilies, which are, I'm sure every household will have green chilies, because when we buy vegetables, definitely we can buy green chilies, and which are much cheaper option comparatively. So in the lockdown, all may not get access to all fruits. So simplest is banana. Banana is available. Even banana has vitamin C. So papaya, banana, all fruits will have vitamin C. So see that you, in the balanced diet, you keep one portion of fruit. A balanced diet does not mean that you take one particular food for breakfast and one particular food for lunch, and later some other in the dinner. Every meal has to be balanced. That is what is a balanced diet. So that is important for balanced diet. Next, nutrients that are important are vitamin D, vitamin A, and the zinc. So talking about vitamin D, if you stand in the sun for about 18 minutes or 20 minutes, then you can manufacture vitamin D in your body. So when to stand in the sun? The best time is, see, there are a number of studies, and there are a number of studies, and there are opinions too. But at the end of the day, when we stand in the sun, our skin has to burn a little. That is the time you understand, okay, now I got enough sun, so I can go inside. It's not just standing for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you will not develop vitamin D. So people who cannot go out also, they can stand near the window when the sun is there, and then expose their face, neck, hands to the sun, so that at least 18% of the body has to be exposed to get a good vitamin D development in the body. So that is number two. And another important vitamin A is important. It is a great antioxidant, and it is also important for skin. It is also important for mucosal lining. So vitamin A is available in non-vegetarian foods basically, but we have carotenoids. Keratin is available from vegetarian sources, especially green leaf vegetables and red and orange vegetables. Carotenoids are available. These carotins, what they do after they get into our body, it will get converted into vitamin A. So carrots or beetroot or green leafy vegetables, they are best taken by cooking. So we have to cook so that the amount of keratin that we ingest is 100% get converted into vitamin A. So vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, these are very important nutrients to develop immunity and support our immunity rather, because we have innate immunity already, and our systems, the cultural food that we have, whether it's north, south, or east, west, we have very good culture. So with that we have a very good immunity power, and the statistics also show that we have very good immunity. And another important nutrient, micronutrient or trace element is zinc. Zinc actually helps in creating new cells. So when there is an infection, when we have to renew ourselves, zinc plays the most important role. So zinc is available from nuts or non-vegetarian foods, but nuts and seeds are the best to have right now. And sprouts are one of the important foods where the nutrients will be just right for us to get absorbed, and new cells, the renovation of the cells happens with that, taking the sprouts or including sprouts, one bowl of sprouts into our meal plan. So apart from this, of course, taking care is very important. Already everybody is talking about how to take care of ourselves, wearing masks, washing hands, and all those stuff. But in a normal meal plan for a normal adult can be like, get up in the morning. I won't say. See, what is happening is people are watching movies, series, and people are really sleeping very late most of the time because they don't have any other work to do. Of course, people who are working from home, they have fixed timings and all. But people who are not working at the moment, their timings are quite erratic. So sticking to the time is very important. Taking meal on time is very important. As soon as you get up, within 1.5 hours, you have to take your breakfast. That's very important. If you take breakfast after 2 hours, it is not breakfast. Then we can consider it as something else. So it will not be as effective as if you don't take your breakfast within 1.5 hours after you get up. That is your wakeful time. You might get up, but you'll be rolling on the bed. That is also considered as wakeful time. Once you're up, you're into consciousness, then you start up within 1 hour, 1.5 hours. You take your breakfast. Then lunch has to be maybe around 1 o'clock, or you can say after 3 hours, or within 3 hours you can have some buttermilk or something. A buttermilk can be we can use the lemon, ginger, and some green chilies and some curry leaves into that, and make it really herbal buttermilk. And it also curry leaves gives you vitamins, vitamin A, and vitamin E is also there in curry leaves, and a lot of fiber. So you can have the buttermilk. Then after some time you can have your lunch. Lunch has to 5 food groups. The breakfast has to be 5 food groups. Lunch has to be 5 food groups, and dinner has to be 5 food groups. See that you finish your dinner as early as possible. Don't take late dinner. That's also very, very important. After you take your dinner, at least 1.5 hours has to be there before you get back to bed. But most of the time, what is happening is we are taking a late dinner and sleeping late also. So as the night falls, it is very important for us to sleep, because if we are sleeping late, we are actually changing our circadian rhythm. By changing circadian rhythm, what happens is we are depriving ourselves of regeneration, of repair of the body. So it is very important that we sleep on time and get up on time. If we get up on time, we can do a lot of things. We can actually create more and more things. Now is the time. Many people are creating many things, and we can do more exercise. We can actually concentrate on those things which we haven't done before. So apart diet, and the diet, most important things are balanced diet first is, and well cooked balanced diet, that's very important right now. And vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, and zinc are very important in our diet. See that they are always there in our diet. And another thing is sleep on time. And talking about one more important thing which I want to talk about is uh, which Aish and the government is recommending, is like taking ginger and taking warm water. Oh, no doubt you can continue taking warm water. Per se, everything per se will not cure or stop you getting coronavirus. So we have to take other care as well. This is only for our preparedness in case if we get affected. So this is only strengthening ourselves. So you can definitely include a lot of ginger in your curries. In our culture, we already do that, and we also use garlic for tadka and all that. Then we also use curry leaves for tadka. We use cumin seeds. We use mustard seeds, which are very important for immunity. We use a lot of masala, garam masala, for many. For example, chole. If you cook, we use garam masala. These are all important for our system. They will definitely help in our gut health, especially. And also, all these spices also have a lot of fiber as well, which they act as a prebiotic. Like they help in developing good bacteria in the stomach once they go inside. So cereals will have help, in whole grains will help, complex carbohydrates will help, and fruits and vegetables will help. The fiber in the fruits and vegetables will help. And also these spices which you are talking,
Okay.
and this
Yeah.
kada or kashayam which we are talking about, all these will help in improving our gut health. If gut is good,
Doc,
if you have good habits
Dr.
like
Janki, hello.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you so much
yeah,
for the tips.
okay.
So
Yeah,
actually, we have a less time. So just I wanted to uh,
yeah,
come to the end. So basically, whatever everybody has given a
yeah,
very,
okay,
very valuable information. So
yeah,
the gist of the total discussion, what happened was, one is to be disciplined. You don't need to be very
right,
lazy, because as you said, everybody think it's a lockdown time, they are sleeping, they are not making life discipline. So today, I mean, maybe after 1 month and whenever the lockdown is open, so we have to go back into action. So everybody has to do discipline their life. This is a very good time, because you are not roaming around, you are not going out. This is a very good time to do exercise and eat a good food to improve your immune system. So to fight any challenges, uh, today it may be corona, tomorrow it may be something else. So we as a human beings, we have to fight to survive ourselves by improving our immune system, by making us more fit. So Madhu, you want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me.
So very good things shared by both of them. Thank you so much. So about all the above thing, see the eating food when you feel hungry. So that time we have to have food. That is very very important. Until unless if you are not feeling hungry, I think if you are eating, so it will not digest properly. And one more thing, whatever you eat, we have to eat. We have to chew well. This is the primary thing. The whole thing, whatever you eat, Yeah, you eat less or more, whatever thing you eat. But if you are not chewing the food, then all goes waste. So chewing is very, very important. And when you feel hungry, that time you need to eat. And we should not drink any cool thing immediate after hot, or hot with cool. We should not make combination of cool and hot. And if we have to avoid complete cool things and also stored things, whatever we are eating, we have to eat very fresh things. And because these things makes a lot of difference, because diet is very much important, as madam said, but the poor man's diet is completely different, because they can't afford all many things what we expect. So whatever we are eating, either it is a poor man diet or rich man diet or middle person diet, whatever you eat, that is very important. With the we have to avoid phones, tvs while eating. We have to avoid talking. These are the primary things. So if we take care of little things, then we can bring a lot of change in our body and mind, and automatically the body will take care. I already initially I said our body having a lot of self potential. It can develop its own immunity by itself if we follow little things properly in disciplined way. That's all.
Thank you. So as a yogic practitioner, Madhu is telling whatever you are doing, you have to be physically, mentally over there while eating, while doing work, while doing anything. Thank you so much for your good tip. Dr. Shravan, you want to say any tip or anything last?
So like as you said, discipline is the key for a beautiful life.
Yes, thank
So
you.
we all have to be disciplined in terms of all the activities, whatever we do.
Thank you.
So
Ultimately, the nature is good. We have to adapt our nature. We should not forget nature. We have to show gratitude to our nature. So that is the main thing. You will get a peace of mind. So you can sleep very well if you show gratitude to our nature.
Thank you.
So really.